Hey, sis. Welcome to Bring It to Your Sister.
We're Lexi and Chastity, just two certified yappers that God knew would be unstoppable as sisters.
So he made us best friends instead.
Join us in this space to laugh, cry, vent, praise, and feel seen while we figure out motherhood, marriage, and womanhood by chasing grace and grit through homemaking, homesteading, faith, and everything in between.
Now pull up a seat and grab your favorite treat me drink because there's always room for one more sister.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Bring It to Your Sister.
This is going to be an exciting episode because it's our first listener question.
I'm excited.
Me too. I was quite shocked when we had an actual email. I'm not even going to lie. I said, "Oh, my goodness."
With actual questions, and it's a list of questions too.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, and it's like baby first year topic, so
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. We love to talk about babies.
Oh yes, that was kind of my favorite, one of my favorite seasons. I don't know, every season's been my favorite in its own way,
Yes,
even the frustrating parts.
that's exactly what I was about to say. They all have their pros and cons. But something about that baby stage,
Mhm.
I'll certainly miss that one.
Yep. Me too.
First, I want to say thank you for emailing us and congratulations on this journey you're about to go into. It's going to be exciting, it'll be lovely, and it'll be real. It'll be real raw. It'll be different, all
It
right?
will.
So, hopefully, nothing we say today is to scare you, but we will be honest and hopefully answer all your questions and prepare you a little more for what's to come in the future. Honey, quick, we have a new puppy, by the way. If you didn't see our reel, I know what I said a couple episodes about not getting any more
Ooh,
animals, okay? I know. And
liar.
I wasn't even gonna tell you until we recorded. I didn't make it one night.
No.
I had to go somewhere and I said, "Oh, let me call Chastity." So, everybody, meet Honey. If you didn't meet her, she's on our Facebook, and you should go follow us at Bring It to Your Sister on Facebook. Bring It to Your Sister with an underscore after every word on Instagram. And if you want to be awesome like these listeners, you can email us at bring it to your sisters with an S 25 at gmail.com.
So how does Augie feel about her?
Augie likes her, but she's a bigger puppy. She was also in a kennel for, I think, about 3 weeks. So she has lost a little bit of her training, but she's so smart and she's picking up really quickly. Just within this week of having her, she has progressed a lot. I'm very proud of her. She was very mouthy and not like aggressively, just very, you know how
Mhm.
little puppies are. But she's already 4 months old. At 4 months, they really should be kind of losing that stuff, I feel like, or
Mm.
in my experience with puppies. What is it?
What is she?
Oh, she's a lab.
Mm. Like
She's
full
just
blood?
Yep, she's a full-blooded yellow lab.
Oh,
So, she's very smart. She's definitely living up to her name with that, but, um, yeah, she was just really mouthy, and she softened up so much. Sammy has also done very well at softening her up because I almost feel like I said, either she lost what she did know when she was in the kennel for that long, or she really just seemed to have not experienced a lot beforehand, like as a small puppy, how their litter mates and other dogs are supposed to you're supposed to socialize them so that they can, you know, learn how to play properly. I need you to not breathe heavy over here. But you know how other dogs are supposed to help them learn how to play properly and not so
mhm.
rough and all that good stuff. She just didn't seem to have had that done. So Sammy has done a really good job at teaching her to be easier and how to properly play. And they
That's
do
good.
play rough. And when he gets enough, he'll tell her. He's like, "All right now." But he's so gentle about it. And girl, she said he ain't gentle. No, she's currently trying to mess with a punching bag, but, she was a little mouthy and kinda jumpy, but we've worked a lot on down and not being mouthy this week, and she's doing a lot better, so, of course, he was super excited, though. The first night we told him, we said, "This is your puppy, okay?" And he said, "My puppy." Like, his eyes
Oh,
just were twinkling. You could tell he was excited.
oh.
And then we actually changed her name from Marley to Honey. At lunch one day, I said, "Augie, you wanna name her Marley or Honey?" And he was eating a cheese stick, and he said, "Cheese stick?" I said, "I'm not naming that dog Cheese Stick." So so her name's Honey, and it is so cute the way he says it. He can say it clearer than Marley as well, so, like,
Mhm.
I think it helped, but he loves her now. He'll call her and they'll play, and she's actually I can tell that she's more gentle with Augie and Annie
Mhm.
than she is with us. It's like
Mhm.
she knows they're little, and the first couple days that we had her, she's, like, just the right height to almost walk over Annie
Ooh.
or get, like, kinda stuck on top of her when she wasn't paying attention. And now, like, she's paying more attention and not getting all over her, and yeah, you can tell this one I think is gonna be a good dog.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
She's beautiful.
Thanks. I think she's gonna be a big girl. Her legs are
Mhm.
so long, but you know me, I like a big dog.
Mm.
My other big dog's outside because she wanted to get up at 4 this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I love her.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I love her too, but she couldn't have waited 45 more minutes at
Right.
least. I mean, I slept 45 more minutes, but she wasn't
So
or
she did
appreciative of
wait.
it. Oh, yeah, she did wait, but she never asked to go out, so when she asked to go out, you better get up and get going.
Mhm.
And I did see her using the potty outside, so appreciate that. Thank you for not pooping on my floors.
I can just imagine her inner dialogue when you finally open
She's
the door.
oh my god, she was so excited. She was, like, spinning around, doing the little hops and stuff. I'm like, "Shh, shh, you're gonna wake the house up."
She got the zoomies.
Yes. Alright, let's get into our drink checks. What are you drinking on?
I'm just having a nice big glass of water.
Me too. I
It does have
just
some like mixed berry little flavor enhancement in there, but there's a couple of little squirts, nothing too much.
well, I'm just proud it's water.
Yeah, I woke up and I kind of felt like
Water.
that's exactly what I was about to say. I felt like SpongeBob on that episode. Water.
Yes. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling a little like that too, so we both have water.
Yes.
And I'm just not ready for anything else when I wake up
Well,
in the mornings.
I know I'll be honest with you. I want some coffee, but I didn't wake up in time to really have time to make coffee before we hopped on here. So best believe that's what I'm doing as soon as I get off here.
I don't blame you. For some reason, I always tend to enjoy my coffees more when it's around lunchtime or mid-afternoon, but then I
Yep.
don't need to be drinking coffee at that
Mm-mm.
time, you know? I should have been done with it by then. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I don't know why that is, but I definitely enjoy coffee more, not first thing in the morning. I don't enjoy much first thing in the morning, though, to be honest.
Sometimes that's the
Like,
first thing I think about when I open my eyes.
oh, no, I don't really wanna eat or drink for at least an hour.
Oh, you're
I
like
don't
my
know.
mom. I
Yeah, like,
swear
I should have been her child.
my mom had you.
Swapped. She had a middle child you didn't know about.
You
Whoops.
know, wouldn't put it past my family. I'm joking, mom. I'm joking.
Oh. Well, and my mom, there's no denying us at
No,
this point. I look just
no,
like her.
you do.
We always joke about that because the older I get, the more I see it. I'll be putting my makeup on and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I look like Robin."
Oh,
Which is not a bad thing, but I'm like, "Wow, that's
oh,
crazy."
well, I look,
My mom is gorgeous, but I'm like, "I just ain't never seen it until now."
yeah, I look like the female version of my birth father, so,
Well, Jensen does too.
you know. I see some similarities between me and my mom, but
I don't know that I've
yeah.
ever seen your birth dad, to be or, like, I don't recall what he looks like.
Mhm, yeah. Well, it's me, but with, like, a beard.
I feel like I talked a little bit about my praise already because Imma let Honey be the praise this week.
Oh,
She's just catching on, and I think she's gonna be a good dog, but
mhm.
I'm also gonna throw in the praise that I'm mentally thriving because it's no longer freezing and gray outside, and all my plants are sprouting and taking off, and I'm just super duper excited about that. I can just feel the summer and spring jitters and, I'm just having a good time. We all went kayaking last night before bed.
Fun.
Yes, to get to see the sunset on our pond, and Jensen has learned to do it on her own, so now she likes to take mine out and
You
just paddle
stop
around.
it.
It's
Uh,
so cute. Yeah, so I'm just having a good time out here.
I I love that for you. I woke up sweating this morning, so I am not happy about the warm weather.
That is fair.
I mean, I do love, like, I don't know, like, I think I'm weird. I don't mind when the sun goes down super early and the days are shorter, but I also very much enjoy during the springtime, like, when you do get that longer time outside, because that ends up being some of our, like, as a family, like, our best times because 'cause we're just
Mhm.
out there vibing, but also, I just don't want the mosquitoes to come back.
Yeah, I am not.
Ready for the mosquitoes. We can't,
Which
like, enjoyably be outside because our mosquitoes will quite literally lift your pant leg to bite you.
I wish I knew where the picture was that you sent me last year of that one mosquito because it was a skeeter hawk. It
No,
was
it was a
giant.
mosquito.
Yeah, it was gigantic.
It was huge, and they
I
hurt. Joshua did, though, he did say he already threw some stuff in the pond that, like, kills kills 'em,
Oh,
um, which is early, like, he doesn't usually do it
mhm,
this early, so I'm like, "Okay, well, we're gonna have to,
that's
like,
good.
keep throwing it in." But
Yeah,
also, like, the back side of our property gets pretty marshy.
mhm.
Not quite marshy, like, you can walk back there, but it's very heavily wooded and a little bit more damp, so when our goats were back there and you would go back there to take care of the goats, my
Get
goodness, it
taken
would be
away.
fine in the rest of the yard if
Mhm.
the pond was treated, but once you walk back there, it was game over.
Maybe try to throw some treatment on the ground. We
Yeah.
had to do that we had to do that one year because the mosquitoes were so bad at, like, 10 in the morning, they were out,
Yes.
and
I
I
always
had
thought
never
mosquitoes were
experienced
like
that.
a nighttime thing. Like, I used to think,
Yeah,
no, they are quite literally odd. If 7 in the morning,
mhm,
here they
yeah. We had to throw Coda brought something home, I don't remember what it was, but it was like these little pellets, and
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
just threw them all over the ground, and it definitely helped, but
Mhm.
we had never had mosquitoes that early in the
Maybe we could
daytime.
try that now that we don't have the goats back there and our chickens
Yeah,
are up in the run. They shouldn't go back there, so
yeah. I'm hoping for less flies since we don't have goats this year
yeah.
because the flies at the other house drove me crazy.
Mhm.
I was like, "I'm glad we didn't try to sail in the spring."
Yeah.
Have to have fly strip in the window.
Yep,
It was just
yep.
that bad though, and
Mhm.
that's all I can think was that it was partially having the goats that close to the house. The guy we have spray for bugs, he said to get these. They're just like these bags. I'm sure you've seen them. They're like these bait bags, but you fill the bottom with water.
Joshua's gotten them.
Yes, and they work
They're
so
so
good,
gross.
but they
They are so
stink.
gross looking. Yes,
He
they
said to
smell
put
so bad.
them he said to put them, like, out behind your house and on the perimeter because it'll attract them away from your house and
Mm, mhm,
catch them out there, and we didn't ever try it, so I'm not sure how it works. We did try the bags on the inside of the house
mm,
and right there around the house, but I didn't ever think about putting them farther away to
mm,
attract them.
mhm.
So, I thought that was a good idea if anybody tries that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, we have to put them out by our barn.
Yeah. I didn't know you could treat the pond, but you'll have to send me that because I have to do that now.
Yeah.
Is that your only struggle, my dear?
Yeah, just the fact that it's getting hot. Yeah. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Listen, y'all don't wanna
Sure.
hear about the rest of it. We'll leave it at that.
You said, "Sure, we'll go with that."
Sure. Yeah, sounds good.
Ah, we'll just hit them with an unspoken prayer request.
Ugh, God, yeah. Oh, just be thinking about me for the rest of the semester, all the way
Yeah.
around.
Listen, you're gonna be fine. You can do this. Midterms, everybody is stressed out and ready to put their hands up and just say, "I'm done" at
Yeah,
midterms. So,
literally,
you're
yeah.
gonna be okay. Just keep pushing through. You're just gonna treat it like everything else. We treat it like parenting. You don't have a choice. You just keep going. You just keep going.
Oh, I do have a choice though.
You don't.
Um,
Pretend
I
you don't.
know, I know, I don't. Like, why did I not finish this when I started it at 19? Why?
You were 19.
Ugh, stupid girl. No, if I had, then I never would have gotten James. So,
Mhm. Everything is planned out, and God
yes,
does it for a reason,
he
so
does. And I know that.
mhm.
I'm like,
Yes.
buddy,
Oh, I
buddy,
um,
listen to me.
I yelled at
What are
God
we doing?
yesterday.
I'm struggling. He's like,
I
yes, I know. You should
mhm.
be.
He's
Grow
like,
some.
"Good."
Like,
Uh-huh. I literally I told him, I was outside bathing the dogs, and of course the kids got muddy, and I was trying to get everybody inside, and I'd sprayed them off twice at this point, and they still weren't inside, and Augie got re-muddy, and then I took his pull-up off because it was muddy and it had poop in it, and
Oh
I
no.
literally I
Wish you were
looked up.
outside.
Yes, at least we were outside and I could hose them off, but in that minute, I was not a happy camper, and I looked up at the sky and I said, "God, what are you doing? I did not pray for patience today." So,
Yes, don't ever pray for patience.
listen, I quit doing that when we
Mm.
were selling the house. I said, "Enough of that."
And
But
yeah.
but seriously, God still wants you to talk to him even if you're yelling at him. So, just remember that.
Just
What
imagine
is
him up there giggling.
Oh, yeah, like yes. I just I just picture God like a toddler parent, you know? Like we're all a bunch of little toddlers, and he's like, "Oh," just chuckling at us because he knows the big picture, you know? And
Yep.
he's like, "You're gonna be
Yeah.
fine, kid, like, shut up. You don't even know about taxes." I'm not gonna lie, when the kids are babies, and this kinda rolls into what we're gonna talk about today, but when the kids are babies, we like to talk to them just because it's fun. They can't or we like to talk for them. We talk to
Oh,
them, of
for them.
course,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we like to talk for them, and it's just fun to give little babies dialogue, it breaks up the postpartum blues, like, it's a nice comedic relief, and whenever they were crying, I'd be like, "Why are you crying? You don't even know about taxes yet. Just wait. It gets
True.
it gets worse."
True.
Oh. But on a real note, give your babies dialogue, it's so fun. Talk for them. Talk
Mhm.
to them. It helps
Oh,
their language
too.
development.
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot you
I
might end up you might end up with a baby that is like mine and talks from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed,
yeah, same.
but please talk to them, it is so good, it is so good for them.
It's imperative
Mhm.
later for them to have that language enrichment and reading. It's the main foundation for reading, to be honest.
Mhm.
Talking to them, reading to them, which we'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah.
Anyways, what is your praise? You gotta have one.
Baseball season starts today
Oh,
for
yes.
Lindsay Poo.
That is
I
so
love
exciting.
baseball season. I love baseball. Oh my god, and I love watching my baby play baseball. Ugh,
He just looks like he'd be good at baseball too. He's got the baseball
does
he
look
reminds
like
me
a
of
good
Briar, like,
stature.
yes, because
Mhm,
Briar was the same way, just kinda tall and lanky as a kid,
mhm.
and we seriously, we thought Briar would go to pro, like, he was
Aw.
that good, and he had people
I'm here
looking
to
at
tell you
him.
James is not. Not.
Well, they probably don't start out that good,
No.
but
There's some kids on his baseball team that I'm like, "Holy cow, what have your parents been doing? You're 6.
that is crazy.
What in the world?" Because they're good, and you could tell they think, um,
Mhm.
they think baseball, like, I don't know, they just know, and maybe I don't where we went, it's kind of bigger than, where he usually plays. I signed him up for where he usually plays too, but where he usually plays, they only play, like, 1 day a week, and
Mhm.
so I wanted him to get more out of it, so I
Mhm.
signed him up for another place that I know, um, is really good and competitive, but I'm like, maybe they're the coach's kids or just maybe their family just watches baseball. We don't watch a lot of baseball.
Mhm.
Joshua doesn't like sports.
Me either. Well, it's not that I don't like him, but I would enjoy coming and watching him play, but watching
Mhm,
sports on TV
mhm,
is not my thing. I enjoyed when we went to a hockey game. I
mhm,
think I enjoy the in-person stuff,
uh-huh.
but to just watch it, to me, it's boring, and you can't really see what's going on half the time. I'm like,
Uh,
"Where even is the ball?"
I grew up watching sports, so I enjoy watching sports, but we don't pay for anything to have sports on the
Mhm.
TV because I would be the only person watching it. So, like, maybe they watch, maybe they have older siblings, who really knows, but you can tell that they think like a baseball player already, and James is out there in the outfield
He's
taking his glove off and spinning around like a fairy a little bit, and I'm like, "Hey, knock it off."
Oh, I remember. We honestly, like, looking back, I enjoyed the Briar doing baseball because
Mhm,
he did rec, he did school, he did travel ball, and
mhm.
that was the only thing that I think got him a little bit was that 2 things got him. He
The
got
attention
burnout.
span. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he got burnout. By the time he got to high school, he didn't even wanna play anymore, like,
Oh.
he I think it was I think he played his freshman year, but then after that, he was like, "I'm done.
Mm,
I'm over it." Um, and and the
mhm.
girls and burnout got him, but he was
Darn.
people were upset when he quit.
Yeah.
Um, I was
Oh.
I wasn't surprised because I was like all year long, which I know a lot of kids do it and they love it, but I think it's
My
important
niece
to
does. I'm surprised she's not burnt out yet.
well, and you can
She's
just
been
tell
doing
Sheila enjoys
it
it.
since she was 8. Yeah, like,
Mhm.
that girl lives, breathes softball. She wants really bad to go D1, and she's a really hard worker. She has very high work ethic, more than any other adult that I know, to be honest.
That's amazing. That's good.
Yeah,
That'll get her far.
that's my praise, that it's the weekend and we get to go enjoy baseball today.
I'm excited for you, and it's supposed to be a pretty day.
I hope so. I saw
Let us
something
hope.
about rain, but I don't like, it says that there's a 30% chance of rain, but I think that's tonight.
Mm. Well, then hopefully y'all get done, and then it'll be a nice cool off.
Yeah.
Are you ready to jump into these questions?
I am.
All right, let's get into this because my
Yes.
children may wake up soon.
Yes, and we gotta get to
Again,
baseball.
yes, and again, I just want to thank our listener for sending us in an email. And if anyone else has an episode request or any questions, please email us at bringittoyoursister25 at gmail.com. First question was covering bonding with the baby while mom is pregnant and ways that dad can engage with the belly or just
Mhm,
bond with baby in general while mom is
mhm.
pregnant.
Yeah, a lot of
And
these questions are for you.
well, I think it'll be really good to look back on because you're gonna be there one day. This is me sprinkling.
Don't
You will.
sprinkle it away. The way I feel this week, sprinkle it away.
You got it. You can do this. Okay, to be completely honest, my husband did not do a whole lot with my belly, and I was okay with that.
Mhm,
I'm not, as some of you probably already know, I'm not a touchy-feely kind of person. So, I was okay with not having my belly rubbed for me, like, it just felt kinda awkward. I'm like, "Well," because it's I don't know, it just felt kinda awkward to me. He would definitely feel kicks whenever I'd ask him to feel them or something like that, but
mhm,
most of the time, my babies, it was like they knew when I asked somebody to feel a kick, they would stop.
mhm,
So, they were hard-headed from the get-go, but I do think open communication with your partner about what they like and what they enjoy is gonna be your
mhm,
best bet on that. I know statistically or research-wise, there's been a lot of studies done on playing music for the baby and talking to it and stuff like that, but I don't think you necessarily have to talk to the belly because at a certain point, I believe the babies can hear so far outside, so they're gonna get used to whoever's around you and their voice
mhm.
anyways.
Yeah.
Besides filling my belly, like, Coda really didn't have much to do with my belly other than feeling kicks, and there's been no bonding issue there, so
Mhm,
it wouldn't be something I, like, stressed about, but there definitely are ways, and I just think open communication with your partner, and
mhm.
if you wanna get fun with it, you can play some Beethoven or something. I've heard classical music makes them smart, but I just played whatever I liked
Yeah.
because I I of course want them to be smart, but I really want them to have good taste in music. You know,
Yeah.
and so far they have it. Sorry if y'all hear her collar. She's itching.
Get it together, honey.
Okay. Number 2, favorite books for the first couple of years. I
I mean, just any children's book. Literally, just any children's. We read to James from the time that we brought him home from the
Mhm.
hospital to we read him almost every single night. And there's some nights if we're up too late, I'm like, "Sorry, buddy, we can't read tonight. You need to go to
Yeah.
bed." Or if we're having a particularly rough night. But also on the particularly rough nights, if we sit down and read, makes it better, calms
Mhm.
everybody down. But they do have these little indestructible books. Have you ever seen them? They're really
No,
cool. You
but I
literally
need them.
cannot rip them. You can crinkle them up,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know what kind of material they're made out of. I think recyclable material, but they're little baby children's books that are very simple, and none that they can read, but that when they're toddlers, they can sit and hold and turn the pages, and they cannot rip them.
okay. I'm gonna need you to find that so we can link it or share a picture because
Mhm.
I need these. I've never heard of those, but
Yeah.
we I tried to so Augie is definitely much easier on books than what he used to be, but I feel like when they're younger, they just instinctively go to tear things up.
Mhm. And
They're
that's
trying to
okay
figure
because
out
that's
yes,
also good for their fine motor skills,
yes.
as
So
frustrating as it is.
mhm, mhm. But we would always just give him, like, the hard books, so that
Mm.
at least it wasn't as tempting. I will never forget, there was one night that we went to go check on Jensen. She was asleep, and she was probably 1 and a half, 2, but she had taken and I'm sure God forgave her for this, but she had taken one of her mini Bibles and
Mhm.
tore pages out and stuffed them in her footy pajamas.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
we had like, her footy pajamas were just filled with Bible pages. It was the funniest thing I've like, the way that child used to go to bed
Absorb the word.
yes, literally, become the word. Oh.
Love
Are
that.
there any books that were sentimental for you or just when you think about that first year,
Mm.
your brain automatically goes to, like, what did you read 100 times?
Oh, yeah, um, oh my gosh, and now I'm not gonna be able to think of the exact title of the book that says, "My baby, you'll be like always."
Oh,
Mm,
yes.
Anyway,
I'll love you
"I'll
forever.
love you forever." Yes,
Mhm.
"I'll love you forever." We love that
That
one.
one's a must.
I mean, it'll punch you.
It
You'll be sitting
it
there reading
brings
it,
tears.
and
Yes.
and I still think about it, but I
I'm
love that
still reading
one.
it.
Mhm. Um, One is the Tell Me About the Night I Was Born. That's an adoption book. Um, but we loved that one. There was another one, another adoption book, We Chose You. Um,
Oh.
but those are the 3 that I can think of. There's another one, and I can see the cover of it. Um, yeah, I loved all the sentimental books that are talking about how you grow up. And oh my gosh, there was one I'm just thinking about it. I'm gonna have to go find it because I can't remember the name of it, but it was so good. It's just talking about how you want your child to be when they grow up and being kind. And
Hmm.
I am a lover of Dr. Seuss, and they have the rhyming words that kind of when they're babies, they kind of I don't know, reading to them helps always,
Mhm.
but using books that have enriching language, like the Dr. Seuss books, I love them because they do have rhyming words. They have like really silly words, but also using books that have bigger words that they're not going to understand, but they're going to have it in there. And eventually, when they get older, you can talk about the meaning of the words. And um,
It's
what was
funny
the
to
other
see
thing
them use those big
about Dr.
words.
Seuss? Oh, The Places You'll Go.
Mm, mhm.
That book.
Ruin me.
Yeah, that one will do it too. Because then you're thinking about, for me, you think about your kid, but you're thinking about, oh man, like me too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is funny you mentioned that because I feel like parenting in general has given me a whole different perspective on how I see my childhood self and my
Mhm.
parents and how
Yep.
they parented, and where I feel like a lot of times people do find, you know, resentment or not great feelings towards their
Mhm.
parents once they become parents. I feel like I've found a lot more understanding, at least from my mom. We'll put it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what happened with the other one, but some of our favorite books, I read Is it
I'm literally looking at it across. It's
Where the
sitting
Wild
in
Things
my,
Are?
yeah,
Yes, Where the Wild
the
Things Are.
bar. Mhm.
Oh, my mom so I tried to get all the books that my mom read to me because that was something my mom was also big on, was
Oh, my mom did not read them.
reading.
I
Well,
love to read them.
mom was a early childhood education,
Oh,
so she read to us for a long time, and I loved that one, The Love You Forever. There's one called On the Night You Were Born,
that's the one.
but it's okay, On
No,
the Night You're
maybe not. I think that might be the one I was thinking about. What's the cover look like?
Polar Bears Dancing,
Yes.
maybe?
Yep.
Okay,
That's the one I was thinking about.
On the Night You Were Born, I love
Mhm.
that one, but there's one by the same author.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
is it called? I can't remember what it is
I don't know.
called,
I'm pretty sure I have it in my classroom.
but it says something about, like, "You're braver," or I don't know. It's just such a good book. It just I'm gonna have to go find it because I don't know.
Yeah.
We actually got it in a Chick-fil-A Happy Meal, and then
Oh, nice.
I ordered the big version because I loved it so
Mhm.
much.
Mhm.
So, I'll try to find that one too.
I'm
We
gonna have to
loved The
go.
Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Yeah, obviously Eric Carle.
Yes,
Eric Carle
love
Day
Eric
is coming
Carle.
up at the end of this month.
Oh, I love him. The pictures are so pretty. And like
Mhm.
you were saying, we didn't ever really read them the small baby books. I think it's good to have a couple of the touch and feel
Mhm.
for when they
Yeah.
are, a
Yeah.
year and
Yeah.
younger.
Those
But
are
I'm
good.
probably not sitting down and reading that one
No, I'm not.
to them. I think those are the books that I typically give to them at bedtime for them to look at on their own,
Yep.
or during independent playtime they can kind of look at it. But I like you were saying, I think it's important to read a book, read a full book to them,
Mhm.
not just mom is playing ball. That
Yeah.
nobody's interested in that. You're not interested.
No.
I don't see how they're interested. Your local library is a gift that most people forget about, but usually libraries have fantastic kid centers, so or
Mhm.
kid areas where you can go and check out all the books you want, and then you can buy the ones that you decide you love, or
Yeah.
whatever. But I think that's a really good way to bring more books in. We definitely have a you gonna have to go quit. We definitely have a collection of our own,
Oh, yeah.
for sure. I'm a sucker for
Yes.
books galore.
I mean, that's what
But
I always buy.
at the library, I will say, check the books before you bring them home because sometimes they're just not what you think they're going to be about.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then sometimes they're really, really long, and I don't have time to read that at bedtime all the time. So you may have to pretend you're reading. They don't know what's on that page, okay? You go through that page and you just make up your own story when
Ja
needed.
James has this book. It's huge, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's kind of like a search and find book.
Mhm.
A little bit of a story that goes with it, but it's long. And I
Yes.
used to I used to grab a few pages, skip a few.
Yes. Yes, I've definitely done that. Just be like,
Oh. Oh, oh,
"Okay."
oh, oh,
S
children's books. My so we get we lo slow
Woo.
down, slow down. There's this company, and I'm gonna butcher the name, I think, Usborne, but they do a couple of my friends have done parties, and then, like, when we go to the fair, they'll have a booth set up at the fair, but they have a lot of children's books, and they have a lot of the fairy tales and, like, Aesop's fables.
Mhm,
We love those, and those are pretty long, those but they're good, like, um they have a, like, a theme, like a lesson
mhm.
within the story, you know? So, like, some of the stories are, like, maybe a little bit scary, 'cause they were written a long time ago,
Mhm.
when people didn't care about not traumatizing children, and they just have a
They
lesson.
actually intentionally traumatize children
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
lesson.
yes. But those are so good, I love like, we have a few of those that are, like, multiple stories in one book.
Yes, I love those, highly recommend those. We
Mhm,
have a few of those, and I think we have a fairy tale one, and then we have just, like, a classic, like, the Golden Books and Madeline and
mhm,
Boom Chicka Boom, and it really is, like, all the ones that I read as a
mhm,
kid
mhm,
in there, and if you're religious, I would recommend getting, like, a kid's Bible. We have a kid's bedtime Bible,
uh-huh,
actually, and it's very short, like 1 or 2 pages, but
yep,
it's just a little Bible story, and then it has a Bible word and a bedtime prayer or something, and my
mhm,
kids have loved that. Oftentimes, that's what they ask to read, so we just
mhm,
read that.
yeah,
But, yeah, books,
I
love
could talk
books, you
about
can't
books
go
forever.
wrong.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah, and
So, we
please, 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 please read to your kids, please,
yes. It read to them,
and
talk to
talk to
them,
them.
talk their
Yeah.
heads off because
One of my
you're
students' moms were talking about this yesterday because she's also a teacher, and she's a very good teacher. I think she's gotten, Teacher of the Year quite a few times, and I'm like, "Am I really teaching Teacher of the Year's kids?" That's a lot of pressure,
no
okay?
pre no pressure, no pressure.
She was she was telling me yesterday, she was like, "You've done such a great job," and anyways, we were talking about reading, because she showed me a video. Re Good morning. Are you so ready for baseball you got up early? Oh, okay.
He's he said, "I'm
I
going back to bed."
you so like that.
Jensen did the same thing yesterday. Augie actually went in there and woke her up, and she was like, "No."
Mm-mm.
And I said, "You can go back to sleep, it's okay." And she got up, and she just had her eyebrows all crossed, and you could just tell she was not
Oh
happy.
gosh.
I said, "Please go back to bed. You are grumpy, and you need to start over because this isn't gonna go good for us."
My mother-in-law's always talked about how well-spoken James is, or how well he's talked even since he was little, and she was like, "I think it has something to do with the fact that you just talk to him like he's a person."
Mhm.
Yeah. Why would
Yeah,
I like, you don't talk to him like they're babies? Because
please don't do baby talk. You can talk
no.
sweetly, please don't do baby talk.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Just just
Just
take my
talk to
word
them.
for it. Talk yes.
Like,
Yep.
when you're cooking, just be like, "I'm doing this," and just
Narrate your life. When you're in the
mhm,
grocery store, "We need some
yeah,
bananas." Show them the
um,
bananas before you put it in the cart.
yep,
It yeah, I can't recommend that enough. But while we're
mm,
still on books, are there any parenting books you read?
no.
Mm, yeah, me either. Sorry, no help on
Probably
that.
should have read some, but
Um, like I said, if you're religious, the Bible. That's
Bible.
about that's about the only parenting book I have read.
I will say I did pick up a book the other day that I really need to read, but I haven't read any other parenting books.
I want to read there is a book, I think it's called Hunt, Gather, Parent.
Mhm.
I wanna read that one, so I would recommend picking up that one. It's on my book list, but,
I haven't heard of it,
um,
but I'll
yeah.
check that out.
Yes, please do because I might have to borrow it from you if you order it before me. Okay, let's move on to best TV shows, networks to watch with the baby
Just
for
don't.
yeah. Yeah, that is a good one, but let's be
Not
realistic.
Cocomelon. And I am guilty. I was so guilty. When James was little, I was like, "Oh, it's so fun." Then all the people doing research came out, I was like, "I am so sorry I did that to your brain." And,
So
like, he can watch it, like, just all day, every day, but I personally love old Disney movies. I just love Disney
mhm,
movies.
the
The older ones,
classics.
though, because the new ones are a little too woke for me.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I kinda have to screen the new ones,
yes.
and
You
then
don't
the old ones, I know I don't have to screen those.
right. We love PBS Kids. PBS Kids all the
Dinosaur
way.
Train. Just
When
love Dinosaur Train, Wild
yes.
Kratts,
Yep, those
anything with
are
the Kratts brothers, Wild Kratts, Zaboomafoo, they have, like, a couple other shows. Those are so educational as far as, like, wildlife goes.
we did do Miss Rachel when Jensen was a kid, and I will say I think speech-wise, Miss Rachel is very good, but enjoy with her, no. Thick of pis in the thick of postpartum, Miss
Mhm.
Rachel had me ready to run out the door. But I
Miss
do
Rachel
think
is also too woke, so
now. So you gotta think this was 5 years ago when
right,
she was small.
right.
That's what I was gonna say. I have not done Miss Rachel for either of the other kids. I
Mm-mm.
think at this point she's just a little too popular and there's I would have to screen it at this point
Mhm.
and I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So there's honestly very little time that I'm sitting down watching TV with the kids,
Mhm.
but I recommend PBS Kids, any of
Mhm.
the classics, stuff you watched as a
Multiple
kid.
Sleep. Yeah.
If it feels like what do I call it? If it feels like mushy brain TV, just stay
Mhm.
away from it. I
Yeah.
don't do Paw Patrol. I think Paw Patrol is crap. They
Love
can
Paw
come for
Patrol.
me. Yeah, my kids love it too, but I think it is trash. I watched it and I did not have a good time. Like from it no, I think it was not
I
good.
still sing the theme song.
The oh my gosh, the pediatrician I don't recommend Nickelodeon, but the pediatrician always has
Familiar.
Nickelodeon
So
on, and I just don't recommend anything that plays on there, but,
mhm.
um, the other thing I was gonna say is my husband actually and I don't know if this is just dad thing, but he likes to watch hunting videos, fishing videos,
Fishing
like
videos, yeah.
camping videos, stuff like that,
Mhm.
and my children love it. They would sit down and watch it with him and just be so calm, and I don't know, it's crazy. Best calming technique he has done because
Right.
we'd all be overstimulated, and he'd just throw one of those on, and all of a sudden everybody's chill. But it's not a typical kid show, you know?
Right.
It's just
But it
it's
is something
just
that's calm and it's not
yes.
overstimulating. It doesn't have
Mhm.
a million colors. You wanna stay away from things that are
Feel like a sugar
flashy.
rush.
Yeah, they're flashy and the slides move so quickly.
Mhm.
Little Bear is a good one.
Love Little Bear.
If you give a mouse a cookie, and
Mhm.
these are things when they're like preschool, like
Yeah.
you're, yeah, not the. I mean, I was for sure guilty of the Mickey Mouse and the Paw Patrol and
Mickey
like
Mouse, I
the
don't hate as much as
Cocomelon,
Paw
and I
Patrol,
feel
though.
so bad. I feel
Nah.
so bad about the Cocomelon, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it now. He's intelligent, he's not dumb.
Yes.
He's just got a little ADHD, So, um, but now looking back, if we ever did have another one, I would strictly stick to Little Bear, Franklin. Um, there's just slower pace. I think there's a show called Guess How Much I Love You. I think
Mhm.
that's a good one. We've never watched it, but I
It is,
think
it's
I've
a good
seen
one.
it on the slower paced
We've watched it.
list.
Amazon
Um,
Prime has a lot of good children
mhm.
streaming shows. I
Yeah,
highly
Apple
recommend
TV.
those.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Apple
haven't
TV does too.
I don't have that.
No,
But,
we have it connected to our Prime.
as a baby, though, I'm gonna be honest with
As
you,
a baby, just don't.
unless it I liked Hey Bear. We did like Hey Bear as a baby for Jensen. They're just the
I've
dancing
never heard of
fruits.
that.
It's
Oh,
calming. They have the black and white ones, but your baby's not gonna spend a whole lot of time actually watching the TV.
no,
For a while, they can't even see it.
and they shouldn't.
I'm not saying don't use it because I definitely did, and there's gonna be times where you need them to be entertained, and that just works. But yeah, just be cautious, and if it feels like it's a sugar rush, then it's probably not good.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, just do that, and honestly, I'm guilty of my kids probably having no, for sure, they have too much screen time, but
Yeah,
I
fair.
try to
Me
make
too.
sure that it is good for them, quote, unquote, educational, you know,
Yeah.
documentaries, all the Planet Earth stuff, all of
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move forward, and baby toys, um, particularly for child development and motor skills, you're better with the knowing what's good developmentally. I'm gonna be
Mhm.
honest.
Cardboard boxes,
Yep,
pots
okay,
and
thank
pans,
you. That's what I was gonna
because
say.
that's what they're
It's
gonna play with.
it's not a
Um,
toy.
Here
I don't
comes
buy
Christmas
toys.
time, you're get yeah, no. No,
I
now,
don't.
I will tell you, stacking things, so wooden blocks, the big Legos,
Yes.
um,
I think textures are important. You wanna get stuff with different textures.
mhm,
Annie loves there's these little plush cubes that have on each side, one side might make a noise, and then the other
mhm,
side has, like, a ball attached where you, like, put it in a hole. One side may have different foil textures or whatever, that kind of stuff I have really liked for the babies.
Okay.
Stuff with
Um,
texture, different sensory sounds, stuff
mhm.
like that. I think they have actually played with and enjoyed, but I've not purchased many toys at all.
No.
Grandparents do it at
Yep.
Christmas,
Yep.
birthdays. You know, they
Our
my
grandparents have definitely bought way more toys than we ever have.
yes, but my kids would prefer to play in a box or go outside or
Yeah.
and that's good. If you
Yep.
if if they are good with that, that's great. I think Montessori toys are better because
Mhm.
anything battery powered I've heard is not wonderful just because it makes it to where they don't have to be creative and figure stuff out. You don't want a toy that's just gonna I think the light up
Do it
singing
for them.
toys are intriguing, but yes,
Mhm. Mhm.
you want them to kind of be bored and have to figure it out and have an imagination with it. So,
Mhm. Yep.
Montessori toys, um,
Yeah, wooden toys are
teether,
very good.
yes,
I love
teething,
the cubes that have the different shapes, and you have to fit the shapes within the shapes to get it
yes,
in there. Those are very
those
good,
are very good.
and those are pretty
Augie
good with
uses
fine motor
those.
skills too.
I was about to say
Um,
Augie uses those at speech and at OT.
yeah,
I would
and
look
like
into toys that speech pathologists and occupational therapists recommend.
yeah,
Look into stuff like that.
yep. And when they get older, toddlers, Play-Doh,
Play-Doh,
it's
yes.
okay.
Mhm.
It's okay if the
Treat
Play-Doh
it
gets in the carpet, like,
listen,
but also don't let them use it on a carpet area. Keep it at the kitchen table. I
yes,
freaking love Play-Doh.
Play-Doh is amazing for their fine motor. It
I
is
wanna play with Play-Doh right now as we speak right now. So
Play-Doh, I'm not a fan of sitting down and playing with it. I will,
oh
like,
my gosh.
I do enjoy it, but it's not like it's not my favorite thing.
Oh, it'll
But,
trap me in.
oh, it traps Augie in.
That and kinetic sand, like, we
When
that's one of the things me and James can sit down and do together, and we always have the best time.
August will play with Play-Doh for an hour, and at
Yeah.
2.5, he doesn't do anything for an hour.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I highly recommend Play-Doh, and honestly, buying the mini ones and then treating
Yeah.
them as disposable has been a game changer because it doesn't matter if it gets on the floor, you're not worried about dog hair getting in it or a crumb getting in it. You know, at the end, if you need to, you can just throw it away and you've got a 20 pack. They're
Yeah.
so cheap that I seen that was a hack another mom on social media shared and I was like, "Yep, that's it." So now we just if
Oh,
it's
I don't think
gross
I've
at the end,
ever thrown a thing of Play-Doh away.
yeah, no. If yep, it'll just get thrown away. I don't mind at all, at all. And then also will just dry, so you can vacuum it up if you need to.
Yeah.
Just give it a couple hours and run the vacuum.
Yep.
This next question, I'm not gonna lie. Please don't take offense when I say this, but
No, I'm so confused by it.
it made me chuckle because it was just something that like, I thought my little intrusive thought brain had thought of everything, and this is not something I've ever thought about, so I just thought it was funny and it made me chuckle. Belly buttons. Do you get to choose what belly button your baby gets? And what is the likelihood of them getting mom or dad's? Can you Google that real quick? Because I did not Google if belly buttons are hereditary,
I
but
don't
I will tell
think
you
they are.
I don't know. I like I said, I just never thought about this, so I thought it was such a good question, and it just made me chuckle because it was not something I had ever thought about. But you don't get to pick what belly button. It just
No, they're
I
not
think
determined by genetics.
it's just depends on how they heal and how the umbilical cord falls off, to be honest.
I don't know how it works.
So it's just a surprise, and I'm not gonna
But
judge
also
you.
as they grow too, like,
Oh, did they change?
like
Because
yeah, like James is a little skinny. So like his is still technically it's not an outie, but it's not an innie, like it's just kind of flat.
I was about to say, doesn't he have an out I would consider his an Audi though, like, compared
Would
to
you?
my kids. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say his is an Audi,
Yeah.
but that's what I was gonna say. So I would think James has an Audi because all my kids have innies,
Mhm.
is why I think that.
But I've seen like other kids have like I mean they're like
Like,
outies.
Audis,
Like
yeah.
they're out.
Yes,
And James's is
yes.
just flat.
But I
But
am
yeah, I think I would consider his sort
I'm
of an outie, I guess.
I would be intrigued to know what is the determining factor there. So if anybody finds out, let us know. Send a
Yeah,
comment.
I
The
know.
only other thing I was gonna tell you is that I was not aware of this first time parent. Like, we didn't know till we got to the hospital, but the cleaning of the umbilical, is it the umbilical cord or what do you
Yeah.
call it? Like
Mhm.
a
Yep,
stump?
that's what
I
it is.
don't know.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, so you're gonna need alcohol pads, just the little square alcohol pads, and you're gonna wanna clean it every time you change their diaper
Mhm.
and just do that, and eventually it's gonna fall off, like, within a week.
Mhm.
I don't recommend keeping those. Some people do. All I'm gonna say is at, like, 8 years old, I found mine that my mother had kept, and I told her it was disgusting, and I threw it away. So you do with that what you will.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry we don't have more info on that, but
Yeah. No.
if you find out
Just
something.
clean it. Make sure you clean it.
Yes.
And, like,
And
I used to put, like, Vaseline on it.
yep. Well,
Yeah.
they didn't tell us to because you want it to dry out.
Oh,
So you want it to dry out so it'll fall off.
yeah.
I would recommend continuing to clean it always. I
Mhm.
think people forget
Yeah.
about a belly button.
Yeah. And they get
Just
stinky.
they do. They will, especially little babies when they start eating,
Mhm.
they're dropping food on their bellies a lot of times,
Uh-huh.
and there will be stuff in there that you may not think should be in there.
Yep.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Yes, but I
don't forget
guess
the
you're
belly
right.
buttons.
Jana always has had an Audi because I never really had to
Oh,
worry about that.
I have had to, like, literally just the other day, I had to pull something out of Annie's. Like, she had a little crumb or something, and I was like, "Get out of there." And they're deeper than you think. So
Oh,
so
yeah.
you have to, like, you can get a Q-tip, I don't know. If you do have, like, if your baby has any bleeding, any, like, pus or funky stuff going on with it, especially after it falls out, go to the doctor, and
Mhm.
they could actually have only lost part of it, not all of it, and they may have to. I had to have this done with Jensen and August. They put this little, it's basically a chemical, I don't know what it is, but it just makes it shrivel up and the rest of it fall out so it doesn't get
Mhm.
infected or anything.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Yes. Any particular bonding activities that you have done playtime-wise that have been developmentally geared, or your favorite ways to spend quality time?
Um, I was a stay-at-home mom with James, so
Whoop, whoop.
so I just was always there. I would sit on like when he was a baby. I'm trying to think when he was a baby. When he was a baby, I just held him like all the time.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
not gonna
believe in
recommend
that.
that.
No, I don't believe. No, I held him all the time. Like every now and then he would go in his swing, but
So,
that's
let
just my
me
little
let me
baby.
clarify. I think you should hold your baby, especially when they're a baby. You can
Mhm.
hold them all the time. But at like at like 3 months old, I start introducing independent play, and
Oh yeah, yeah. Tell me
they
time. Like
definitely
yeah,
have
yeah.
times where they are on their
Mhm.
own playing
Oh
because
yeah, yeah.
you will be glad. Most babies don't enjoy it at first. Like, they just
They
don't. They're
hate
like,
it.
"Where are you at? What am I
Mhm.
doing?" It's okay. It's okay. You know what happens when you're uncomfortable? You grow. So,
Oh, see,
keep that
see,
in
when he was
mind.
like little, like tummy time starting, I would still just lay there on the floor with him.
Oh, yeah, like, when they're
I would
little.
hardly. I mean, if I would get up and like cook or clean something or
Yes,
go to the
exactly.
bathroom or something. But yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
not saying let your kid, be hysterical on the floor, by no
Mm-mm,
means. But if
mm-mm.
you'll be able to tell when your kid's just complaining, even as a baby, and
Yep.
when they're actually upset. So if they're just
Mhm.
complaining at first, it's okay to let them complain a little bit and go cook, go clean, go to the bathroom for a
Yeah.
few minutes, come
Yep.
back and check on them, talk to them a
Yep.
minute. If they're good, go back to getting stuff done because
Mhm.
you are going to have to continue to get things done. You're
Mhm.
not going to be able to be consumed by the baby forever, unfortunately. So, baby wearing, I know a lot of people love, but
Oh yeah.
I've never been a fan. I've got big babies, and I've not found a baby wear that I have enjoyed once they've gotten bigger. So,
Mm.
and I have
I
really long
loved
hair. I
the
don't want
one
them
that you
pulling my
wore.
hair.
Yeah.
I liked that when they were little, but like I said, my babies are big, and I've seen people do their toddlers in those, and I don't know how they do them because
Mhm.
I felt like once my kids got bigger that they just were too big on my body to do
Mhm.
that, and I didn't feel like it was secure.
Yeah.
But when they were little, I loved the, like, Moby wrap, I think is
Mhm.
what we had.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be around them all the time, just be present. Put your
Mhm.
phone
Yeah.
down.
Put your phone down.
Once they're old enough, they'll tell you what they wanna do, or you can
Mhm.
ask, but just
They'll tell you how
it'll
to play too.
yeah, you'll figure it out. The bonding,
Mhm.
I feel like really just they love you as soon as you come out, you know?
It is kind
I
of just a natural thing.
I know there are some parents that have a hard time bonding with baby, but your baby usually is not gonna have a hard time bonding with you. So
Mhm.
just keep that in mind.
For us, because we did adopt, I know this is not everybody's situation, but for us, when James was a little, to help with bonding, we did skin to skin,
Mhm.
like,
Love
often,
skin to skin. Skin to
often.
skin, even when they're older, to be
Mhm,
completely honest, like, even at Jensen's age, no, we're not sitting there just skin to skin cuddling anymore like you do when you're a baby,
mhm,
but when she's upset, sometimes she just needs a hug. You
mhm,
know, reverting back to the basics when they're older, I think helps a lot.
mhm. We also did nobody else was allowed to feed James for a
Okay.
long time. It was just Josh, because feeding time is a bonding thing anyways,
Yeah, I
I
agree.
feel like. 'Cause I mean, you're just sitting, like, that's
Mhm.
just what you're doing. You're just sitting
Yes.
with each other, and especially when they start noticing you when they're little babies and they start touching your face and,
Mhm.
oh, oh
Eh,
my gosh,
yes. Ugh,
patting your chest,
I
like, when
love
they're trying to go to sleep.
yes, love, love, love that stage. There are studies now showing that parents that stay on their phone while they're feeding baby, especially while the baby's awake, it's causing issues, so keep that in mind. If your baby's awake, my rule of
Mhm.
thumb has been if the
Look at
baby's
them.
awake, I'm looking at him. We have eye
Mhm,
contact, I might talk to them.
mhm,
They don't know what you're saying, alright? You can literally tell them whatever you want, just talk.
mhm.
Talking to them while they're feeding and they're awake, I'm fully present. Now, if my baby is asleep, and especially during those first couple months, if the
Mm,
baby was
in the middle of the
asleep
night.
and I
Mhm,
was feeding it, I did get on my phone because it was like I needed something to keep me awake.
mhm,
And there's probably gonna be times where you're not awake when you're feeding them, to be completely honest with you. So, make sure you're somewhere that you cannot drop them.
mhm,
Like, full transparency, I had to quit feeding my babies in the bed. So we had the bassinet, I'd pick them up and I'd put them in the bed, feed them, put them back in the bassinet. I had to start getting up, going to the recliner so that I would be
mhm,
awake enough
mhm.
to not fall back asleep because there was a
Yeah.
couple times that I was holding them, feeding them, and would drift off and it would be like my hands, luckily we were on the bed, so
Mhm,
they would have just fell onto the mattress, but I felt my hands do that, like, dropping because I was
mhm,
going to sleep. So, PSA, just in case, because you don't think about it until it happens, and then you're like, "Oh my
mhm.
gosh, I just about dropped
Yeah,
my baby."
yeah,
So, make sure whenever you're feeding them and you're sleep deprived and exhausted, you're
yeah.
somewhere
Mhm.
safe, that is
Safe.
safe. You kinda can't drop them in the recliner. You can, but it's kinda hard. If you're sitting there holding them, you won't doze off for very long, I can promise you that, because your brain's immediately gonna be like, "Oh my god."
Not always, though.
No?
No,
Gosh, I felt like I would
no.
doze off and then I'd be like,
I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you're just that like,
yeah,
stranger things have happened, you know?
that
Strange,
is true.
not strange, but, unfortunate things of, like, you fall asleep in a recliner, they could get wedged.
Squish, yes. Yeah.
Oof, I don't even wanna think about that,
I
but
have seen where people will do, like,
that
the Moby
happens.
wrap on their chest for babies
Mhm,
that are colicky, wrap them, and then they will go sleep in the recliner because they're secured to the chest,
mhm,
and then the parent can sleep, and it's supposed to help the baby.
mm,
I think I did that once when one of mine was sick, when they were really little,
mm,
and I needed I wanted to make sure they were breathing during the night, so I did that, but yeah, safety, just know your
yeah,
safety rules, your basic safety stuff. I don't really know how well that answered your question, but hopefully it gave you some guidance. The next one is talking about tickling and raspberries and stuff like that, and how it is good for oxytocin and nervous system regulation. Honestly, I hadn't never thought about how it is good for your nervous system until this question. And then I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense and why kids like it so much.
mm,
So I think tickling's great. We do a lot of tickle monster stuff. When I'm overstimulated and I'm ready to yell at my children, like I'm ready to crash out, sometimes I will just do a tickle monster because it feels like you're getting that frustration out and they're laughing and having the best time, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I do think
Mhm.
it's important to have some, like, rules with it, though, because body boundaries are important,
As long
and
as they like it.
sometimes yes, as long as they like it, and then sometimes your kid can't tell you when to stop, especially if
Mhm.
they're laughing. So if
Mhm.
you see that they're laughing so hard that, like, they're not getting good breaths, just make sure you're giving breaks, and as soon as our kids say stop, we stop. I'm not
Yep.
tickling you for half a
Immediately.
second more, like,
Mm-mm.
once you say stop, we stop.
Mhm.
So, just keeping that in mind, I do think it's great. I think it's a great way to bond with them. I think it's nice. Breaks up tension when needed. It's great. And also, I think dads are typically rougher and do the rough house play, the wrestling, the tickling, a lot of that more than I know I have in my experience. I feel like the play is where dads thrive, I feel like. I know there's moms out there that do it
Mhm.
fantastically, but in my experience, dad is play. I'm I can keep you alive. Um, the only other thing I was gonna say about that is oh, babies. So babies don't actually laugh until they're what, like it's either 2 or 4 months old, I think.
I don't know, but I know that
They'll do the gas
I felt
smiles.
like James took a long time to laugh, and it worried me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I can't remember at what age he actually did, like, laugh for the first time, or, like, did a little giggle for the first time, but I do remember being concerned that he
Oh,
had
really?
not laughed yet. Yeah, I was like, "What's
Um,
going on?" Because he would
I
smile.
mhm.
Like, he would smile, like, if I say like, you talk to him, when I would sing to him, he would smile so big. Um, but, like, laughing, he didn't do
And,
that for a
like,
long
that
time.
deep belly baby laugh
Yeah,
is just
he
ugh.
didn't do that for a long time.
I don't remember I know I have it written down somewhere, but I don't remember when my children actually laughed. I
Wish I
just
had
know
written
it's
it
like
down.
I feel like it's like they can't laugh, like, they developmentally it's a milestone that they learn how to
Mhm,
laugh, and I don't remember
mhm.
when it is, if it's 2 or 4 months, but I feel like it's in between those times,
Yeah.
and
James went past that, I think.
every baby's different, so
Mhm,
I think it's important to remember that and not compare your baby, but also keep it in the back of your head because that saved us with Augie. At 4 months old, I knew he was not babbling as much as he should be.
yeah,
Um,
yep,
Granted, Jensen was a big babbler, so
mhm,
I'm not gonna lie, I have certainly compared his speech progress to hers, and where Jensen, like, really, I shouldn't compare his speech development to hers at all because she developed quickly
mhm,
and very well in the speech area at a young age, very young age.
mhm,
Um, but I think it has helped me because I know how capable a child can be with speech. So
mhm,
we were able to document and keep an eye on it. And that way, when he did turn 2 and I was ready to put him in speech, that documentation was there and we were able to get him the help he needed. And he's
mhm,
progressed so much. And I've both his speech pathologist and OT have said that usually these kind of things are not caught in children his age, that it's usually once they get into school.
mhm.
So, I'm really glad for the early intervention. I think
Yeah,
the earlier you are able to intervene on things and get them help, the better.
better.
Please,
It is. Yep.
please, please do not want to be in denial about a
No.
possible issue with your child. Get them the help they need.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Don't be like, "Oh, he's fine. He'll grow out of it," or "She'll grow out of it," whatever. Just be over aware. Don't be like a hypochondriac or, in
Yeah.
the doctor every
Yep.
week, but pay attention, trust your gut. If it feels kinda off or you think it needs to be noted, do so.
Mhm,
It's okay. Next question is baby food. Okay, I know for me, I start food a little earlier than what some people like to do. There are some people that only do formula or breast milk until a year old and don't introduce solids. Our babies are pretty much eating everything we're eating. We start introducing purees once they can sit up good and they're hitting
mhm,
the safety requirements to be able to start purees. But Jensen started at like 3.5 months. Augie probably started around that same time. Annie started later, and that is only because 3 kids, and I genuinely
I
didn't
bet.
realize she was old enough. Yeah, time just got away from me. But now she's gonna be 10 months old soon, and she literally eats everything. There's a really good app, and I don't know what it's called, but it's baby-led weaning style, but you can look up every food, and it'll tell you when to introduce it, how to cut it. It'll tell you everything about the food and giving it to the baby, and I think that's really good. I will be honest, I had it with my second child, and I didn't really use it just because we had already been through the first, but I did really like the app. I thought it was really good informative-wise.
Mhm.
So I'll try to find that and link it.
And your pediatrician will also guide you on
Yes,
most of these questions. Your pediatrician
pediatrician.
can guide you along as well.
Yes. Starting babies on solid foods, I feel like a lot of parents struggle with it being scary because it is a little scary at times. If you're not CPR certified, at least just be knowledgeable on
No.
how to you wanna be able to do the baby Heimlich or whatever you need to
Yep.
do in the
Mhm.
case that they are choking,
Yep.
but your baby's gonna have I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure your baby is going to gag re regardless whenever they start solid foods because they have to
Mhm.
learn how
Mhm.
their mouths work. They're
Right.
learning like, them putting their hands in their mouth, the food, they're learning how each area of their mouth works and what each part does. It's just another learning process, and
Mhm.
at first, they gag a lot.
Yep.
Oftentimes, they can get it up on their own, and I think you need to let them if you can. So, just take a second. If your kid starts gagging, give them just a second. If they start really choking, get to work. But
Yeah.
you can kinda be able to tell, but it is a little scary as a first-time parent if you don't
It is.
know
Yeah.
that that is gonna happen. When they're silent and blue is a problem. If they're
Yeah.
coughing I've always been told if they're coughing to let them
They're
cough.
breathing. Mhm.
Yeah, if they're coughing, they're breathing, let them do that. If they're gagging, they're trying to get it up, and oftentimes, you can choke them more by intervening. So, just keep that in mind. Okay, sleep. Co-sleeping, crib, own room, regressions. It could be a whole episode. Look at that baby. Ugh, we love Olaf. He's like, "All right, I'm here for the chat." I'm just gonna
Put
say
me
about
on.
sleeping, to each their own. I'm not against co-sleeping. It's not something we did. I think whatever you choose to do, read up on the safety, like the sleep safety, and follow it. There's
Mhm.
sleep safety guidelines for co-sleeping specifically, and I think there's a ton of benefits of co-sleeping. I was always too scared to do it, and I didn't want my children to associate my bed as their bed when they were older as well. We every morning have a child in the bed with us because they crawl in at some point during the night, but
Mhm.
every night we put them to bed in their own bed. So
Mhm.
when they were babies, we did the bassinet. The crib, I moved Jensen to her own room and a crib at like 2 or 3 months old. She slept better. She did much better. It was great. At that time, we did not do floor beds. We had an actual crib. I didn't like the crib, to be honest. She got her legs stuck in it a couple times. I just didn't like it. So we ended up doing floor beds, the Montessori method. You can check that out. There's a ton of different ways you can do that. So highly recommend floor beds once they're older. But I swapped all of mine to a floor bed between 4 to 6 months old.
Mhm.
Annie stayed in our room a little bit longer. We were moving. We didn't really have enough room for her in another room, to be honest.
Right.
Um, but I do think mine have slept better once they moved to their own beds in their own room.
We had that same experience. We absolutely did not co-sleep um because my husband
Yeah,
was a paramedic, is a nurse now, and absolutely not. He saw
yeah.
way too many things to make that a thing in our house. We would, because when he
I would
did have
nap.
trouble sleeping, yeah, we would nap. We would go to the couch.
Mhm,
But again, we just did not go sleep, especially with both of us in the
mhm,
bed. There was never a time where he was just in the middle of us sleeping ever.
mhm,
And he had a bassinet at the end of our bed. Um, but I did notice when I moved him to his bed at 3 months old, he slept much better.
mhm. I I don't know what it is about that.
Mhm.
And like you were saying, it's I definitely don't wanna come across like I'm judging people that co-sleep or like that I'm against it because I do believe there's some benefits for it, but to me,
I'm against it. Sorry.
there's too many to me, there's too many things that have happened
Mhm. Mhm.
for me to do it. Like, I think
Especially
the
when you're
risk
that
is
sleep
too
deprived.
high.
Mhm.
That's sleep deprived. I have seen where breastfeeding moms, there's a like, when your baby wakes up, you're gonna wake up 2 seconds. 2 seconds after that baby wakes up when you're breastfeeding.
Mhm.
There's a lot of connection there when you're breastfeeding. So, if that's route you're planning on taking, look into that. But when dad is asleep, dad's asleep.
Mhm.
I in my case, in most cases that I've heard. So, like I said, there are co-sleeping safety regulations. If you're going to do it, please follow those. But my
Mhm.
anxiety just didn't ever let me. We would do, like, co-sleeping naps sometimes. I did really love the bassinet that you could glide onto the bed. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
I had those with Annie and Augie, and I love that because you do feel like you're sleeping with them. And I'm sure they kind of feel like they're sleeping with you, but they're in the bassinet. So you're
Mhm.
not sleeping with them. They're safe, but you
Mhm.
can literally slide it to where you sleep in the middle of the bed and the baby's kind of on your side.
Mhm.
And I love that. So highly recommend that. Sleep regressions, I'm just going to tell you to go
They
look
just
up.
happen. Sorry.
They happen, they're rough. Some are
Mhm.
rough than others.
Mhm.
Whatever habits you implement during a sleep regression, expect to continue those. For the love of God, please do not start driving your baby around at night because they won't sleep.
Oh god.
Please don't start that habit. I know people do it and it works, and when you're desperate for that sleep, it probably feels like it's worth it. I just don't think it is productive in any shape or form at all. So please, please,
Mhm.
please don't do that. Don't turn on the TV at night. Go look up, it's Taking Cara Babies. So TAKINGCARA babies. That is the only sleep stuff I've ever looked at, and I have fantastic sleepers. So go there for all the sleep questions. Okay, next one is making bath time more relaxing and having a bath time routine. Taking care of babies, she's also going to have information on this as well, but bedtime, bath time routine to me is important. From the
Mhm.
get-go, we had we had a routine. Um as a newborn, you're probably not bathing your baby every single day.
No.
Honestly, don't bathe your baby every single day as a newborn. This is you didn't ask for this information, but we actually did not have our kids bathed at the hospital. They just wiped them off really good,
Mhm.
but I think it's called Vernix, the white stuff
Mhm.
that is on your baby is actually a really good skin protector and will help them even later on. It will help their skin, I wanna say biome, but I don't know that that is accurate. But we chose not to bathe our babies. They just wiped them off, and eventually all that stuff does come off.
Mhm.
And with our boy, he didn't have anything other than a sponge bath until like a month old because of circumcision and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm.
I hated that. I wouldn't do that again, to be honest. Oh, but the girls, like I felt like about once a week when they were really, really little. But that was for a real bath, you know. But you're
Mhm.
still like wiping them off every day. Babies spit up a
Mhm.
lot. Obviously, if your baby wakes up with crusty hair, you're gonna wash it even if it's just in the
Mhm.
sink, that kinda thing. But really, babies don't need baths every single day.
They don't.
Af at, like, I don't know, at, like, a month old or 2 months old, I do like to start implementing a bedtime routine where we do bath time, and even then, they're still not getting dirty all the time, so our listeners are from the UK, so I don't know how it is there, but as everybody knows in America, we really like to use chemicals and stuff in our foods and products that
Mhm.
shouldn't be there. So
Right.
I don't like to put soap on our kids. Well, now I put soap on our kids every day because they're dirty, they play outside.
Mhm.
But when they're babies, they had baths every night, but I didn't always use soap. It was just a way to kind of train their brain of this is wind down time.
Right.
After dinner, we do bath, we do a book, we do bed. So it may not be with soap every time, but we would give them just a nice warm bath, You can dim the lights. There's a lot of bath time toys. I hate bath toys. I'm just gonna tell you, I hate bath toys. But if you must, make sure they're, anti-mold. There are some cool ones that have little lights, but not like strobe lights, because that's not relaxing. That's a party.
Mhm.
Um, stuff like that. You can make it warmer, like a little space heater in the
Mhm.
bathroom because babies get cold quite quickly. I don't know. All my kids liked baths. I haven't had a baby that didn't like a bath. Then we would just go straight into bed. Even now, we go straight into bedtime after bath. So we read our book, do our PJs, all that good stuff. And during that time, I like to keep the noise level as low as possible, but that doesn't
Mhm.
happen much, you know.
Mhm.
But TV's off, phones away, being present, dimmer lights, slower movements, reading the book, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
It's gonna be naturally calming. You can buy magnesium sleep spray for babies, and there's just an abundance of things you can buy to make it more relaxing, but I don't think they're necessary
No.
to have. So, your voice, you can sing to them.
Mhm.
Kids
Yeah,
are
that's what I
way
always did.
Yes, kids are just way more basic than people think, or
Mhm.
the marketing is getting everyone. You don't need all these products, I promise. You don't need half of the things that you're gonna end up with for the first baby. And
Mhm.
Chastity, whenever we had Annie, which was our 3rd, I was like, "It's month 8 and we have nothing. I'm kinda starting to freak out a little bit." And she was like, "It's fine. You need a place for them to sleep, you need bottles, you need clothes, and
Yep,
diapers."
and
So,
that's it.
that's 4 things. That's all you need. And she's so right. You don't need all the cool gadgets. Some of them are nice to have, but
Mhm.
you're gonna be just fine with the basics. Is there anything special that you would do with James? Because I know, like, some people do little massages and stuff, but I just didn't ever do I just didn't ever do any of
No,
that.
I would rock him. I would pat his butt and sing to him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would I did keep I would use 2 washcloths, and I would keep a washcloth, like, on their body so that I could
Oh, you
continuously
mean
pour the
like
warm water on there.
during bath time?
Oh, yeah.
No, there was no like yeah. We just had like the normal bath time.
I think the only time I've seen babies get upset with bath time is when they're cold. So if they're upset,
Mm,
just make sure they're not cold.
yeah,
Um,
babies.
yeah.
And James loved bath time. James still loves bath time. It's just now I want to take a relaxing bath, meaning he doesn't want to wash anything, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that. He loves to be in the bathtub, but when he was a baby, bath time was great until he became a toddler, and you would have to pour the water on his head.
These next 2 questions, we're just gonna wrap into one real quick because
Okay.
Chastity's gotta go do baseball, and
Yes.
I'm supposed to be going on a trip, and I need to go pack.
You haven't packed yet?
No, but
I can't say anything.
Coda's gotta fix my headlight at 11, so I'm not leaving till
Oh,
lunch,
okay.
so
You have
I've got a
time
little
then.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When to look into daycares, preschools, playgroups, kind of the registration process and our experience.
Mhm.
And do we recommend parent meetups, playgroups, that kind of thing? Should they go? Have we been to any? Okay. I could go on
No.
a whole rant about my daycare experience, but I will not
Oh.
because I don't want to scare you. But if you have to send your child to a preschool, a daycare, please just thoroughly look into it. Thoroughly look into it. At this point, I wouldn't send mine if they didn't have video footage in every room that you can access from your phone at any time of the day.
Mhm.
There are a lot of daycares that have that. It is not a made up thing.
I was like,
So
man.
look for daycares that have that because yeah, you're gonna want it's a really good thing to have. Um I I we had a bad experience, so I can't say that I recommend daycares. I think there are way too many bad experiences and just cases all over about daycare incidents and things that happen at daycares. I don't I don't recommend them, but obviously not everyone can stay at home. So
Mhm.
if you have a family member that you trust that could stay home, that would be my first option
Yeah.
of what I would do. If not, looking into a nanny that can come to your home.
Mhm.
You can have cameras in your home that you can access at any time. If you do have to go the daycare route, though, registration, I didn't really go through that process because it was a family friend that owned the daycare. So they kind of just did it all for us.
Mm.
I would tell you to read the handbook extremely carefully. Read it, every single word of it and what is in there, because that came back to bite us in the butt when we were trying to have
Mm.
actions taken after we had an incident occur. So look into that for sure. I wish I would have paid a little more attention and just not signed everything willy-nilly. If you don't understand something, ask about it or ask
Mhm.
somebody to clarify. Because what was presented was we had signed a liability, like, release form, basically saying that if anything happened, that we could not sue them or they were not liable. I I thought that that would be like if my kid broke their arm on the playground. I didn't think
Right.
anything about if something occurred to my child by a daycare
An
worker,
adult. Mhm.
that that's what that meant. So,
Mhm.
that is my PSA on that. If you go the daycare route, become extremely close with the people that are going to take care of them. I'm not saying become best friends with them, but know who's taking care of your child. Pop in randomly. I mean random. Don't tell them you're coming. Pop in just for lunch. If you're breastfeeding, I know a lot of breastfeeding moms will go and breastfeed on their lunch breaks from work.
Mhm.
Pop in, be extremely present. Kids are way less likely to be messed with if that parent is present and they don't know when that parent might show up. So there's that.
Such a
Um,
sad thing to have to say, but
it is, and I hate to do that because that's not what you wanna hear as a first-time parent, but
mhm. Mhm.
I wish I would have known better. The registration thing, because it can take a little bit, you probably wanna start looking into it now. If you know that's the route you have to go, wait list can be long, a
Mhm.
year long. Yeah, wait
Ooh.
list for yeah. Yeah, wait list can be really long depending on where you're going, especially if it is a
Mhm.
really good daycare, they're gonna have a longer wait list because people are gonna
Mhm.
be dying to get into it, but daycare is expensive. I just if you can stay home, stay home. It's not for
Mhm.
everybody. It's not feasible for everybody. Family members, maybe somebody that can privately come into the home. You've talked about not the Amish, what is it?
Mennonites.
Yes, do
Yeah,
you wanna
I think that's my if we ever have another kid, I now that I work and I love my job, I don't anyways, we don't have time to get onto this back and forth that I go on because I just would feel so guilty that I stayed home with James and not with another one, but I also hadn't found a career when James was little, so it's a little bit different. But we live in an area where a county over, a lot of Mennonites live, and a lot of people at our school use Mennonites as their nanny, and just because they have the same values,
Mhm.
you know, and that would be my option now. Do I know how to go about that? I really don't. Feel like I would just have to ask somebody like, "Hey, can I have your Mennonite's number? Like, can
Mhm.
I have your person's number so I can find me a person?" But I didn't have to worry about daycare, so I don't know anything about daycare process. For, like, preschool, pre-K here is optional. Kindergarten is not, I don't think. But
Right.
you wanna find the school if you're don't go on the private route, you wanna find the school that you would rather go to, but usually I think they start doing registration around March, the
Mhm.
school year before you're supposed to be going. So I would just pay attention to that, but that's all I really know about that, to be honest.
We looked into, like, a charter academy for
Mm,
Jensen at one point, and they're kinda harder to get into. They have the lottery system, so,
yeah.
yeah, they would start stuff in January, early spring. It's when
Mhm,
you kinda wanna be looking for registration stuff, but daycares, I would try to just call and take a tour, meet people. Everybody's gonna be on their best behavior on the first meeting, I would think. If
mhm,
they're not, you're definitely not gonna wanna use them. You know?
mhm,
If stuff's off the first time you tour a school, a daycare, probably not the one. I know there are a lot of really good in-house daycares where people watch kids in their own house. I would never go that route personally.
mhm,
I think too much can happen in somebody else's home. You don't know the people that they know and could be in and out of the house at any time. You don't know their animals, their you don't know enough.
Mhm.
And especially if there's not cameras, you cannot say what is or what isn't happening while you're gone. So I just don't recommend that route at all.
Mm-mm. And as far as the
But
play groups and meetups go,
yes,
no.
I
It's a
have,
no for me. Unless you're friends with
yeah,
me,
I was about to say
please don't come near me.
we're a bit introverted. I think they
Yeah,
do have a lot of good benefits, and they are a great way to meet parents. I know a lot of churches
sure.
will do, like, mom's morning out,
Mhm.
and you can take your kid for an hour or 2, and or they
Mhm.
might have, like, play groups with other parents, but I've personally not been to any. I have accidentally ran into some homeschool groups at parks, and I will say they have all been very nice and welcoming and asked our kids to do crafts and stuff with them, and I do think that's great. I really like to be at home, and I really like the comfort of people I already know.
Yeah.
So,
I really don't want you to talk to me.
and adults are like, I do think it's really beneficial, but it is really hard to get adults together. Your schedules are so different,
Mhm.
and just it can just be a little, it's not something I would stress about. If you happen
Mhm.
to see one you like or a play date occurs, great. Socializing your children is very important, but you're gonna be doing that way more than you think. It's kinda one of those
It's just
things that
natural.
yeah, they're gonna talk to people in the grocery store, let them stuff like that. So,
I don't.
I do to a certain extent. You do have to cut it off at some point because you gotta
James will
grocery
literally
shop.
James will literally
Jensen gets mad
somebody
at me.
go
She's
talk
like,
to
"You're
James.
not letting me talk to anybody." And I'm like
Oh,
"We got a
James will
grocery
give him a
shop."
look. Somebody talked to James one time when he was a baby, and he might as well have clutched his pearls with the giving them the face and everything, and I
Oh
was like,
my
"Yes,
god.
baby, do not let these people talk to you because I do not wanna talk to nobody."
My kids are the exact opposite. They want to talk to everyone, and
Mm-mm.
because we are doing homeschool and we are home just us, and I want them to be socialized, I really try my best to let them talk to other people. No! Hey, quit doing that. Oh my gosh, that dog was just chewing on our Wi-Fi cords.
Oh, Lord.
I'm glad I paid attention. Anywho, I try to let them talk to any adults' kids to a certain extent when we go to the parks, when we go to the
Mhm.
grocery stores, stuff like that. Your kids, your family members, their cousins, all that kind of stuff is ways that they're going to be socialized without
Mhm.
you having to set out intentional
Mhm.
socialization, if that makes sense. But I'm not against them. I think they can be really good. But I think if you can find, I do think it's real important to have some other parents that you're friends with, regardless of their child's age. Like, James is a little older than my kids, not by much, but being able to have Chassie's perspective on the older years or a little
Mhm.
bit older is really nice sometimes.
I hope I haven't scared you.
No, I mean, I don't know that I'm gonna
A little
survive
scary.
Augie anyways, but
Yeah.
yeah. Parenting's a little scary. Let's be honest, it's a little scary, but
Very.
it is worth every little bit of it. I know that when I'm on my deathbed, that this is gonna be what I look back on,
For
and
sure.
that I think I've said it in a recent episode that I was listening to a podcast, and the mom said when she was, like, passing away that she just seen her 3 little babies sitting in the chair beside her, just waiting on her to head out, and that just wrecked me because I can only pray that that's what I get. I
Yeah.
can't imagine anything else. Like,
Mm-mm.
I hope that is what I get, and
Yeah.
yeah, please. There's a lot of scary stuff out there, and it is scary being a parent, especially in today. But like we always say, God's gonna fill the gaps. He's gonna
Mhm.
protect you. He's gonna guide you, and you're not gonna know what you're doing. You're gonna mess up. It's a bunch of trial and error, and you're gonna be okay. I
Yeah.
promise. It will. It's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be a little crazy, and remember, everything is a stage. Everything's a season. So if it's really freaking hard right now, just give it a little bit of time.
No worries. When you turn the corner, it'll be even harder.
No,
I'm
Chastity.
joking. I'm joking.
I mean, it might be.
It
Let's be
will
so
be.
for real. It might be. Like I said, there's gonna be days where you might be yelling at God, but
Mhm. Mhm.
overall, I would not give up, especially during these little years. I wouldn't give up being able to be home and be able to be a present parent with them
Yeah, see,
for
that's why I
anything in the
struggle
world.
with having another kid.
Oh, yeah, but you need to do it. You can do it. It's gonna be fine. So, you take a couple gap years. It's fine.
No.
You just take a little break from the career if you need to.
I'm 34. I have no room to
No,
take
listen,
a break from that.
I love those reels where it's like the gap in my resume.
Mhm.
You're gonna be okay. Whatever ends up happening, you'll figure it out, and it'll
Yeah.
be exactly the way it's supposed to be. So, that was for you and them.
Mhm.
But we've got to go because the day has started, and
Yes.
my
My son
children
is
will for
hungry,
sure be up to.
and he's
Yes.
gotta get to baseball.
Yeah, you better feed that growing boy.
I know. Yeah. He's been so
Please.
hungry lately too.
My children have been too, to the point where I'm a little frustrated at
Yeah.
times because I'm like,
Yeah.
"I just
My God,
fed
you
you.
just ate.
Like, I ate when you ate, and I'm not even thinking about food yet."
Yeah.
And they're eating good, though. They're eating good,
Yeah.
nutritious foods. They're eating
Mhm.
good amounts of food, and
They're
I'm just
just
like,
growing.
"Why are you so hungry?" I need to know. You're so freaking hungry. Why?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then we leave the house. God forbid we leave the house.
Immediately.
They're starving.
Uh-huh.
They're
Even
starving.
if they just ate.
I took all
I'm
3 of them.
hungry.
Mhm. I took all 3 of them into the gas station to pay for my gas. That's all we were doing was paying for gas.
Oh,
Get in,
big
get out.
mistake.
Well, I usually don't do that because I only had cash, so I had to.
Mhm.
And, of course, there were cow tails right there by the register, and she was like, "Can I have one?" And Augie was like, "Please." And I was like, "No, we're only getting gas."
Mm.
Let me tell you, learn to say no and not feel bad
Yeah.
about it.
That's okay.
One of the best
They'll be
parenting
alright.
tips. They will
Yeah.
be. They had just eaten before we left the house, and
Mhm.
Jensen goes right there in front of God and everybody, "I'm starving."
Oh, I bet you are.
I said, "I fed you before we left the house.
Mm-mm. That's
I
when you just
promise
start
they're fed."
listing off the things they just ate 10 minutes ago.
And
Yeah.
the
Auntie
cashier,
said, "Get
she
me good."
said uh-huh, she said, "It's okay. It's just because 'cause they're in a store." And I said,
Yep.
"Thanks." I'm like, "People are gonna
Mhm.
think I don't feed." I have told Jensen that. "People are gonna think I don't feed you. Please stop
Mhm.
saying that."
And then they're
Like,
gonna call somebody and come pick you up, and you're gonna have to go live with a new
yes.
family,
Yep.
and that family is not nice.
Yep.
You gotta
They don't
scare 'em a
know
little
how
bit.
good they have it. A little bit.
You
Oh,
don't. They don't.
healthy fear, healthy
Mhm.
fear. But
James hit me
alright.
with the one more thing.
Oh,
James
yeah,
hit
go
me
ahead.
one time with the, "Can I have lunch today?"
Oh
in
my
public, and I
gosh.
said, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "As opposed to every other day,
I'm
you
like,
just
"You
don't
mean
eat?"
second lunch?" My kids had second
You
dinner
mean,
the
can you
other
eat for the
night.
5th time today?
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Because
Can I have lunch today?
I told my mom, I called her, and I'm, like, genuinely scared somebody's gonna call DFACS one day because
Mhm.
somebody's gonna think I don't feed my kids, and she said, "Well, Lex, don't worry about it. People know." She said, "People know how kids are, and the
Yeah.
kids that are really being abused aren't going around saying they're abused or
Right.
neglected." So,
Correct.
I
Yeah.
said, "Well, that does make me feel a little bit better because mine will say that they're starving in front of everybody, and that I just know
Mhm.
they're not. Like, they're
Mhm.
just like, especially now that I'm taking, like, this health journey and trying to get control of my health, all the foods in our house are healthy and
Mhm.
nutrient dense, and I'm like, "You're eating so good.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're I know you're not starving."
You just want some sugar.
Oh, yes, yes. Jensen's favorite thing is, "I've been really good today. Can I have a piece of candy?" No.
Mm-mm.
We don't get candy just because 'cause we're good.
No.
Sometimes I will, she's done something extra special, but oh, anyways, please tell James we said good luck and
I will.
to have fun and
Okay.
send us pictures, please, because I
Yeah.
know Miss Jensen's gonna wanna see him. She's missing him
Absolutely.
for sure,
Oh, I know
but
we need to plan something.
yes, soon. You should have spring
Yeah.
break soon,
Yeah.
so maybe
At the
then
end of this month.
we could take a spring break adventure.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm thinking a day trip to the beach for sure.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah,
Let's
I'm
do
down. Please, let's do it.
it.
Okay. Well, I hope this answered your questions. And again, I just want to congratulate you on baby. It's going to be so freaking fun.
Yeah.
I can't even explain it to you because you just don't know until you know.
You know.
And nobody could have told me that before I had kids. I'm like, all right,
Mhm.
sure. I'm going to love it as much as I love my baby dogs. It's
Oh,
not the
yeah.
same.
It's
And you
not the
might,
same.
and be
I got
forewarned.
so mad when my stepmom said that one time.
Hmm.
She was like, "They're just dogs." I was like, "How
They're
dare
not.
you?"
They're
Yeah.
not just dogs.
It's not the
But
same at all.
it's not the same. And you may actually, especially new mom, postpartum stuff, you may go through a period where you don't like your dogs or your animals. That's okay.
Mhm.
That is okay. You're not a bad
Uh-huh.
person. It doesn't mean you need to get rid of your animal,
Yeah, don't get rid of them
but
and don't abuse
just
them.
know you're not
You're
alone
gonna
in
get
that.
frustrated
It's a
frustrated with
national
them more.
I like to say it's a national phenomenon, even though I know that is not the correct words for that, but it like, across the
Natural.
board. Sure, sure. Sure, we'll
Natural
go with that.
phenomenon.
I don't know how natural it is either,
Yeah.
but across the board, so many
Normal.
women say that
Yeah.
they cannot stand their animals after having kids, and it's because it's overstimulating, but
Well,
you do
I
love
think
it.
it's a
You do
protection
like
thing
them
too.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My animals were older, so they didn't give a rat's toot about
mhm.
James at all. It made
Yeah,
me sad.
well,
I was like, "I want you to love him." And they do, but
Roya loves the kids, super
mm,
protective of them, but she doesn't enjoy them. Like, she's my
mhm.
dog. She's like, "Y'all are overstimulating. Imma go in
Yeah.
the other room."
Yeah.
But I don't worry about her with the kids, and of
Mm,
course, the puppies love the kids because 'cause they're also kids.
yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just I don't one last PSA, I won't ever trust an animal with kids. I don't trust my
Mm-mm.
kids with animals, I don't trust
Mm-mm.
animals with my kids. I
Mm-mm.
don't care how foolproof the animal is,
Yep.
it only takes a second, and kids
Yeah.
can really trigger that in an animal.
They can.
They're
Yeah.
teach your kid animal safety and how to
Yeah.
handle animals
Do not let your
from
child
the
crawl on
start.
the dog.
No, it's not funny, it's not cute.
It's not.
You're endangering your dog, you're
Mhm.
endangering your kid.
Yep.
Please teach animal safety and how to
Mhm.
properly handle and be around animals to
Mhm.
your child. Um, but we love y'all, and we hope you come back and join us for our next chat. And if you haven't already, make sure you go and follow us. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't just be listening. We need the subscribers.
Mm.
Please. All right. We love you. We hope you have a great day. Everybody say a little prayer for James as he goes and starts his baseball season.
Yes.
All right. We love you.
Bye,
Have fun.
y'all.
Bye.
Hey, sister, one more thing before you go. It's time for you to remember you are worthy, capable, and a daughter of the King. So get out there and become the woman God has always destined you to be. We can't wait for you to get cozy and join us at the table on the next episode of Bring It to Your Sister.